So welcome to the business plan, chapter 1, part 1, your purpose. Fundamentally and arguably, your purpose is the most important part of your business and therefore your business plan too. So what's your company's purpose? I'll actually start with what your company's purpose is not. Sometimes it's easier to look at what it's not than what it is. Right, your company's purpose is not what you do for your customers. Your company's purpose is why you do what you do and therefore what problem you are solving for your customers. This is a classic Simon Sinek TED Talk. Start with why. So before you start any product or service within your business, you need to understand why you are doing it for your customer and what problem you are solving for your customer. Because as we all know, or as we should all know, customers buy solutions. Okay, so let's create your company's purpose. Okay, as I've said before, this chapter is permanent, so I want you to spend a decent amount of time on creating this because it's not going to change over time. You may change the wording, but the fundamental meaning will not change unless you change your products or services or why you do what you do for your customer. So you might need to come back to this section. So this is to get the juices flowing. If you don't have enough time today, start writing down some ideas, but make sure you do this, but give it the time it needs. Okay, so what do we need to do to get to your purpose? You need to write one sentence, not two, not three, one sentence. And ideally, 7 words or less. 5 is great, 5 is best, 8, no go. It needs to be something so memorable that your team, your customers, and even your competitors will remember it. Seth Godin refers to this as your smallest viable promise, what you stand for and who it is for. This sentence will basically become your elevator pitch when people ask you, what do you do? An example for you. Right, I am a chartered accountant and own a chartered accounting practice, right? And imagine if someone came up to me at a networking event and asked, what do you do? Imagine if I said to them, we are chartered accountants for small to medium-sized businesses. Do you know what the outcome of that networking event would be? The other person would make an excuse to leave, probably I need to go to the toilet, and they would never come back. Because who wants to talk to an accountant, right? They are boring by trade. But imagine if I said, when asked, what do? I replied, we empower businesses. This would not only stop the person needing the urge to have a massive we, but more importantly, this would get them engaged and asking more. They'd be intrigued with what does that actually mean? At which point you can explain what you do for clients, what problem you are solving for clients, why you're in business for your customers. But remember with sales, the key is to listen more and ask them, do they have this problem? Would this be a solution that would work for them? By having a clear purpose, your customers, when they go to refer you via word of mouth, they will clearly know how to explain what you do and what problem you have solved for them and how great you are. Same for employees. They will accurately explain what your company does and why it does what it does and also what they should be doing every day. Okay, let's get back to your sentence. So like I said, one sentence, 7 words or less, 5 is best. Also, if you can include the words you and your in your sentence as it talks directly to your customer. Now this is your written sentence. So my firm is empowering your business to achieve more. But when I'm at a networking event, I leave out the your, right? Because when I'm talking to someone, they're not my client yet. So it's empowering businesses together. So you'll see you can just change the wording around, but the fundamental meaning is the same. Last point, but very, very, very important point to your sentence, be unique. You need to be unique and better than your competitors, or different to your competitors. Not better, different to your competitors. Now, one of my favorite movies, and I love this sentence, when I watched this movie, it just resonated with purpose for me, and it was the Wonka video. Now, the sentence I love is, close your eyes and count to 10. Make a wish and open them. Here's a store that's like no other. If it were, I wouldn't bother. Now, you need to be the same too. So you need to be unique and don't be like someone else. Because if you're going to be like someone else, don't bother. The only thing you've got to compete on is price. And if you're competing on price, the race to the bottom is not a race you want to win. Okay, one more example before you get going, and I love this one, and I love this company too, and it is Disney. To make you happy. How good is that? So simple, so memorable, so clear. Okay, so over to your purpose again. It is one sentence, less than 7 words, 5 is best. If you can use you and your, amazing, be unique. Okay, so how we go about this task is I recommend you write down a whole lot of words and then you start highlighting them and formulating a sentence, your elevator pitch. If you're struggling with this, trying to get the words and the juices flowing, sometimes it's easier to write what you don't do and why you don't do that for your customer. Sometimes when you write what you don't do, because it's easier to write don'ts, you get closer to what you do for your customer and why you do it.